Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? No? Then can I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. There a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. All right, thank you. There's no opposition, the minutes are approved. John, you're on board.
You're on mute, John.
One of these days I'm going to get it.
Yes.
All right. Let's start sharing some good news here. There's good news buried behind this slide here, and I don't mean to get into some of the nuts and bolts, literally, of how things happen here behind the scenes, but it is worth celebrating and noting the continued process improvement and innovation shown by our fleet maintenance teams. Our new driver barriers are fleet-wide, so every bus that is pulling out of the garage has the latest and greatest, as well as we're working on moving to a fleet-wide installation of these fixes to various issues we're seeing with the shields. So continuing to improve their durability with safety in mind for the operators, for the boarding customers as they pay their fare. So thank you to everyone in fleet maintenance for your ingenuity, your efforts, your continued focus on safety for employees and customers as well.
John, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
I know that discussion of glare came up. Have we looked at anything like tinting on those?
We have.
Any problems?
Exactly. We have looked at it, and it does create some other issues. Where we've shifted instead is using different products to make sure that we're keeping the shield itself clear. You'll recall that our first iteration of products that killed the virus were meant to dry and left a bit of a haze. We've shifted into better products, so we should see a clear application, clear visual there. So yeah, instead of so much troubleshooting or changing the actual material, we've shifted into a better product to disinfect it and keep it clear.
All right, and we're keeping the operators in those discussions.
Yes, sir. Through the reevaluation of the barriers, we've enlisted the help of the Joint Safety Committee, which includes operators, includes our safety teams, a reevaluation, continuing evaluation, I should say, continuing to look at the shields to make sure they are safe, continuing to troubleshoot issues that arise, be they visibility or durability. So both continue to be looked at. Today we're just sharing the latest steps. We continue to emphasize to the team that this is not a finish line thing. We will constantly be monitoring and staying out in front of issues.
Great, thanks. Sorry to interrupt.
No, thank you. Thank you for the discussion. So in that interest of safety, we continue to be engaged with the community. We had a mask distribution event on Government Square, two of them actually, October 21st on Government Square and October 22nd at our brand new shiny Northside Transit Center. So thank you for everyone for complying with the rules to ride, keeping safety in mind for everyone, and we'll continue to engage the community in this kind of fashion. You may have heard November 3rd was Election Day. Might get some news alerts there. In case you haven't heard about it, spoiler alert. Election on November 3rd, and we went fare-free. We are very grateful to the City of Cincinnati, the DeVue Good Foundation, and captured 22,000 rides, over 22,000 rides on Election Day. We are proud to have done our part as our small effort to help get out the vote.
Were those direct routes to the election board or not?
This is system-wide on the Metro Fixed Route system.
I mean, so it depended on if the rider was going in that direction. It wasn't like a chartered route to the election.
Correct. This is our regular service, regular weekday service, no chartered routes or special service.
Right. So the city, the foundation thought this was a good way to support democracy and encourage voting. So it was no different service than we normally provide.
All right, yeah, I mean, I understand that part. I'm just saying some of the questions that came was if I get on that bus, will it take me to the election post? I mean, I thought it was a good gesture and a good opportunity to get the word out. Because we are in the midst of that. But, that was the only question. I mean, it's over now, but
And so what we saw was when our normal ride was like 21.8.
Yeah, and that's all I'm saying. 22,000 was just regular ridership.
Right.
I'd like to turn it over to Brandy now to discuss our exciting Metro Veterans Program.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to share that tomorrow, on Veterans Day, all veterans are eligible to ride Metro free with a valid military ID. So it's our way of saying thank you. We're also, on Veterans Day, we'll be launching a new program called the Metro Veterans Program, MVP for short. And it will allow veterans to take advantage of half-fare rides on all Metro service, both veterans and active military personnel. And so it will operate through our Fair Deal office. And so the vet, all they need to do is go and apply, show proof of their status as a veteran or active military personnel, and they will get a special card as shown on your screen. It has a really cool design to thank them or recognize their service to our country and to acknowledge the fact that they are eligible for half-fare on anywhere in our service. Next slide. And to further acknowledge this new program and to thank our current Metro employees, we have more than 100 who have served in the military here at Metro. And so we have 2 buses that will be wrapped in the MVP design, acknowledging them for their service, promoting the MVP program. And on the back of the bus, which you'll see on the next slide here, there is a message for recruitment. We are inviting any veteran to come and work at Metro. We know that our veterans are hardworking people, they are dedicated, and they are committed to serving our community. So we're asking them to come and share those talents with us here at Metro. So this bus will serve 3 purposes, and we hope that when folks see it out on the road, they will see it and feel pride in knowing that we are thanking all those who have served our country, as well as those who continue to serve our community every day. Next slide. We are also going to do a Stuff the Bus event on November 16th in partnership with Xavier University. And we're inviting the community to come help us stuff that bus with recreational items for youth in our community, such as, baseballs and soccer balls, clothes or toiletries or other items on Monday, November 16th. So if you have any of those items in your home that you can spare, or if you want to purchase new items, we invite you to help us stuff the bus on November 16th. Next slide. Thank you. And then, as you all know, we are proposing to the community a simplified fare structure proposal. And so we are inviting the public to come and give us their feedback on that fare simplification proposal on November 18th. From 3 to 8 p.m. at Duke Energy Center. So that day we will have presentations at the top of every hour. So if someone has questions, they can come during that time to get more information. Or if they want to leave their comment and they can't make it in person, they can go to our website at go-metro.com. We have the information there for them to view. They can also complete a survey online, giving us their feedback and any comments they may have about the fare simplification. And they can do that through multiple ways, including fax or email. So all public comment received by November 18th at 8 p.m. will be a part of official public record.
I have a question. So we're just doing it for one day. We're going to change the fares or simplify the fares, and we're only meeting with the public for one day about this?
So we have the information up. It's been up for about a week now. So our notification went out last week telling the public that there is a proposal, and they are open to submit their comments and look at the presentation materials, from last week through the 18th. Now, the day that we're having the in-person meeting, it's just an opportunity for people who might want to come in person, who may not feel comfortable with online options, but we are providing a multitude of ways, and we're also working on getting in offering a virtual presentation as well. So we're just trying to make sure that there's many ways for folks to get the information, whether that's online, whether that's virtual, or in person. And they have from last week through the 18th to leave their input.
My understanding, I thought when you change the fares, there is there's actually laws written about how we have the process we have to go through to actually change a fare. And this fulfills that, I'm assuming.
Yes, we are following all procedures. We are in the process of conducting a Title VI analysis to evaluate any implications on disadvantaged communities who may be impacted by that. We are holding this public meeting, which is required of us to do so, and we published a legal notice advertising that a week ago. That the requirement is 2 weeks, so we're giving folks way more than 2 weeks notice, as well as our established methods of communication, being through the media, through social media, on our website, trying to communicate to the public about the changes and to take their feedback. And so we are following all the guidelines that are required. Thank you.
Good morning. I have something. Go ahead, Gwen, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Here's a question. Have we ever used, like the buzz to get that information out?
Are you referring to the radio station?
Yes.
We have communicated to all media, so that did include our radio partners. Whether they play it or not, I can't be certain, but all media partners did receive the news release announcing that there would be a fair certification process and that there would be a public meeting, so that has been distributed very widely.
Thanks, Brandy.
You're welcome.
Good morning again. I wanted to share with you that we had a celebration last month. Mr. Bruce Adams has been here for 40 years. He started working here in 1980 in the mailroom, and he continued to work through a department then known as MIS, Management Information Systems. That is now IT, and Bruce has made major contributions to bringing us into the 20th century. As you've heard earlier, where we are upgrading everything, Bruce is a key component of that. And I wanted to let you know and to thank him. We had a little small get-together, as you can see here. We all wore masks, but we did celebrate as best we could given the COVID situation, his 40-year anniversary in October. So I wanted to share that with you. Thank you, Bruce.
We'd also like to say thank you and well wishes on the retirements of these distinguished Metro employees. They are the heroes, the unsung heroes that walk amongst us to serve their communities. Operator David Harmon, Operator Jayla Dean Williams, Maintenance Employee and Union Steward Mark Crandall. Thank you all for your years of service, the countless lives that you have touched, helping people safely get to opportunities, get to things that they need to do in their lives. You are the heroes of the region. We thank you and we wish you well on a well-deserved retirement.
That's wonderful.
Last but not least, we continue to stay engaged with the community. I hope you got a chance to get your hands on this hot Metro swag. Check out the Hey Cincinnati Go Metro t-shirts to match the branding of the Northside Transit Center. See employees here, members of the community. We had a giveaway here at Government Square. So thank you, everyone. Support your Metro gear, and that is the good news.
That is
The shirts
good
look
news.
great.
Yes, that's wonderful. easy. And so there's some hard work behind it and some thoughtful processes. So thank you, John, for you and the team for the good news. Transfer of Transit Center Fund, Haley.
Aled was having some computer issues. He may not be on yet. Madam Chair, can we go to the next item? And then once he gets back on, we come back to that.
Okay, that's really information. Is that right? Discussion? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right, then great. We'll go with Tara, the DBE program, and she can share what's going on in that department. I had the opportunity to have a pre-meeting with Tara and Daryl and the team around our small and disadvantaged businesses. And I'm concluding, and let me just share this, that, you know, timing is everything, and it is time that we as a governing body and an executive team ensure that inclusion and maximization of our funds occur. And so to have Tara on board and to hear the report, I'm confident that we are moving in the right direction in response to being included, inclusion, having a strong inclusion policy and backing it up. And in order for it to be successful, the board has to believe in inclusion, and our whole executive team and staff must understand inclusion and believe in it and support it as well. So I'm refreshed to hear what is going on and how we're moving in that direction. So, Tara, you're on.
Thank you, Glenn. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be providing a status update on our Small and Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program. Since we last met in September, we have made great strides in increasing participation and outreach among small and disadvantaged businesses and are looking at additional methods to further foster even greater participation. So the Small Business Program, we will further our goal of fostering small and disadvantaged business participation in all contracts. While the DBE program is focused solely on participation by businesses that are certified in accordance with FTA regulations, the SBE program is broader and encompasses all firms that are certified by the city, county, and state as small, minority, women-owned, and disadvantaged businesses. This program is designed to promote small and disadvantaged business participation as prime contractors or subcontractors, primarily for locally funded projects. So let's discuss some of the exciting results of our push to use small and disadvantaged businesses. Since our last meeting, small and disadvantaged business activity has increased on locally funded projects. Out of 5 recent procurements, 15 out of 28 bids or proposals, or 53% of bids or proposals received, were from small and disadvantaged firms. Of those 5 procurements, 2 small and disadvantaged firms were awarded a contract, while 2 other non-certified firms committed to using a small and disadvantaged business as a subcontractor or subconsultant. The results for the other procurement are not yet available as it has not yet been awarded. One of the procurements in particular had 9 proposals for a compensation study, 5 of which were from small and disadvantaged businesses. The contract was awarded to a certified woman-owned business. These results are encouraging and exciting, so let's talk about some of the efforts that helped us to achieve this participation. We currently use the following measures to encourage and promote small and disadvantaged business participation. Distribution of small and disadvantaged business recipes to interested contractors. This is typically provided via a pre-bid meeting or pre-proposal conference. The meeting gives us an opportunity to connect with interested prime contractors and provide this information to them. Additionally, DBE subcontractors will be provided a listing of interested prime contractors, which was a suggestion that Gwen had made, which is a wonderful suggestion. providing technical assistance and other services to small and disadvantaged businesses in an effort to increase the number of small business concerns competing in the transit industry. Technical assistance could cover a wide variety of topics, from explaining your procurement process to providing resources and tools to assist in certification. In the past month, I have assisted 3 firms in starting the DBE certification process. Removing obstacles that prohibit participation in the industry, such as inability to obtain bonding, financing, etc. Finances play a critical role in businesses' opportunity or ability to compete. Excessive bonding or insurance requirements could deter a small or disadvantaged business from competing because they don't have the resources to fulfill the requirements set forth in the solicitation. Before a solicitation is released, we need to assess the risk of lowering insurance and bonding requirements. Consulting available directories and ensuring that all known small businesses are notified of each procurement, whether or not a small business goal is established. We use the Ohio Department of Transportation's directories for SBEs and DBEs and notify each business individually of the opportunity. In addition to this, we also advertise opportunities in local circulations, such as the Cincinnati Herald, that reach a more diverse audience. As part of our outreach, we try to designate time to speak with vendors who are interested in doing business with SORTA and connect them with the right people here. We recently had a virtual meeting with Clark Telecommunications, who provides security-related services. After meeting with them, they were connected with Transit Security here at SORTA. Now let's talk about another measure called unbundling that we will be implementing to provide more participation opportunities for small and disadvantaged businesses. Contract unbundling is a way to provide small and disadvantaged businesses a better opportunity to be awarded a contract with SORTA. The size of a project can be a deterrent to small and disadvantaged businesses, as these businesses often don't have the capacity or the financial capability to perform as a prime in a large contract. Additionally, a prime contractor may perform work in-house that has the potential to be subcontracted out to another business, which takes away an opportunity for a small or disadvantaged business. Unbundling provides more contracting opportunities for small and disadvantaged businesses. So let's go over an example to help explain. A construction project is a good example of how a contract could potentially be unbundled. Construction projects have multiple functions that have to be performed to complete the project. Certain elements may have the potential to be separated to provide additional contracting opportunities that may attract small and disadvantaged businesses. For example, if a project needed cleanup after construction is complete, that could be an element that could be removed from the scope of work for the construction project and could be a separate procurement itself. The question is, how and why does unbundling help these businesses? Unbundling creates additional contracting opportunities that may not have been available for smaller disadvantaged businesses to perform if it remained bundled into the scope of the larger project. We encourage participation by small and disadvantaged businesses, which means that a prime contractor is not obligated to use a small and disadvantaged business and can elect to perform a portion of the project in-house. Prior to submitting a PR, project managers will be working with me to review their scope and try to identify available contracting opportunities that could be unbundled out of the original scope. As part of the review, we will look to see if there are opportunities for small and disadvantaged businesses to compete in the portion of scope that could be unbundled. Unbundling may not be possible for every project, so there may not be an opportunity to implement this practice, but it would still be ideal for both project managers and myself to review the scope just in case. This new procedure was presented at the quarterly leadership meeting in October. So let's talk about another way we're encouraging more small and disadvantaged business participation. The way in which we procure items and services has the potential to impact a small and disadvantaged business choice to submit a bid or proposal. We take into consideration the needs and constraints of small and disadvantaged businesses before we decide how to proceed with a procurement. We have found that some procurements that are routine purchases may be able to be put on a long-term contract, which provides more opportunities and can possibly be cost-effective for SORTA. A recent example is our method in which we procure bus parts. Many of our bus replacement parts are provided via a daily request for quotes. Vendors are not under contract and are only asked to provide daily quotes on needed bus parts. Upon consultation with a local vendor and another regional transit authority, we found that formally soliciting and putting parts under a contract can help a small and disadvantaged business be more competitive due to pricing they receive for buying in bulk. In response to this constraint, a scope for an invitation for bid is currently being prepared to procure various quantities of multiple bus brake parts. This gives a small and disadvantaged business a better chance at providing a competitive price and be awarded a contract. So as you can see, we are making great strides in our efforts to increase small and disadvantaged business participation. We will continue to seek out new and innovative ways to encourage participation and help remove obstacles for small and disadvantaged businesses. By continuing to make these efforts, I believe that our participation will only continue to grow. Any questions?
Yeah, let me just say a couple of things. One, excellent report, and that the cooperation and the understanding is in this report, so thank you so much. Let's be mindful, and I had to be reminded that the federal monies come with a different set of requirements versus our local levy monies and tax money. So these pertain to our local funding, and so hopefully we'll get an understanding of both of them and look at how we can work with both of them. Does it take legislative response to the federal to be compatible to our local, what have you. And then the other suggestion that came from the team was to create some software to track why the inclusion is valuable. So I'm really impressed with the work that has been done and is being done by the staff. So any questions or comments would be greatly appreciated now.
I had one that and maybe I used the language kind of with the when you projects, and I guess I know for construction with the federal things stuff we've had that. I'm wondering if just sort of general procurement we're getting it deep enough. It seems like with general procurement we tend to go back with who we've used before. So I don't know if we're getting enough participation or sort of creating rules that force us to look at other vendors.
Yeah. So right now, some of the things that we're doing kind of opens the door for our small and disadvantaged businesses. But we want to make it as competitive as possible, where everybody gets a chance to put in their bid or proposal, and everybody, is in consideration. So we're trying to level that playing field, and not have like one consistent vendor, and not have a whole bunch of competition. So, we're trying to make it to where it's completely fair, and we're trying to get more DBEs and SBEs, MBEs, WBEs in the door. So that's something we have identified as just getting them in the door kind of helps our goal.
Craig, let me give you one example, Craig, that I found really is the way to go. And it's our contract with Nick Deere. Communications. I mean, he's been with us for a while, but he chose to bring on 2 minority women-owned businesses to be a partner with him in our contract. And so, that's the kind of mindset that we're really hoping to promote with the contractors that seem to continue with us. We're hoping to get them to look at ways they can help us to reach our goals.
Yeah, great. I think we need to establish what those goals are, but I think it's wonderful if we can put that strategy into every RFP.
Right.
Sorry, I interrupted.
A couple of other things we're doing. We're having more pre-bid meetings, so we're inviting the vendors to come in and talk to us about our procurements prior to them actually bidding, so we can kind of understand why some of our contracts, there are so few people that bid. We're also doing an outreach to them. When Tara talked about this earlier, when we put a bid out, we're actually picking up the phone, calling vendors, asking them, if they're interested, making sure they understand the procurement that's out there. So we are addressing some of those challenges that we've had over the course of the years to try to increase our participation.
Any other comments or questions?
Comment. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, team. I love the direction that this is going, because I know it's been building up frustration for a while. And Gwen, you're making it happen. And team, thank you. Dara, I love those new meetings and stuff you're having.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
All right.
Chairman, Alette has come into my office so he can use my computer. So if you're okay with it, we'll go back to the transit center and we'll kind of exchange seats.
That's fine. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you, my apologies. My computer crashed. I thought I restarted it, and in my second sentence when Daryl said that, you guys can't hear
We're
me.
not in control of it. We may want to think just because we turned the computer on, we're in control, but we're not. I mean, Heidi this morning decided to reboot, to update. So.
My apologies. So with regards to that, with regards to that item, as you very well know, the uptown area has been going through some major exciting redevelopment, especially along MLK corridor. And in 2017, the Uptown Consortium and the City of Cincinnati, they applied for a grant to build a transit center that would accommodate all of these developments, whether it's commercial and residential. And since 2018, we've been working with the Uptown Consortium and the city to find a suitable location for that transit center. For the past almost maybe 10, 11 months, we've been working very closely, not only with the Uptown Consortium and the city, but also with UC Health on a joint venture with them to build a transit center as part of one of their developments there. They have a garage just north of MLK between Burnett and Harvey, and the concept so far is to build a transit center as part of their rebuilding of that garage, which is really a great opportunity for us. The location is excellent. We already have about 5 or 6 routes that go on Harvey and Burnett that carry about 15% of our ridership, and with Route 43, which is just a couple of blocks to the east, all of these carry almost 25% of our ridership. So the location is excellent, and we've been working very closely with UC Health on developing that concept. We've come to a point where now that we are seriously engaged in this project, and we need to have more control on the all aspects of it, the design, the construction, and obviously the maintenance later on. So we've come to kind of an initial agreement with the city to transfer the grant to us. And hence this briefing item is that we will assume, as SORTA, we will assume that grant. The grant that was granted by OKI in September 2017 totals $6.6 million. And the local match would be $1.6 million. As it currently stands, the model we're working on with UC Health is the local match would be covered by either the demolition cost of the existing garage, or some of other mechanism that we're building into that model of finance model with UC Health. The current concept of the transit center is not just to serve our 40-foot buses, but actually it's a multi-model center. So our buses will be served by that transit center. We will have a small park and ride for our customers. The area shuttles will also be served in that center, and we will have a really nice indoor waiting area for our customers with restrooms and all amenities. If there are if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. I'm sorry, Greg. Any line or any bike parking tying it into college students? I couldn't understand you. I'm sorry. Or any bike infrastructure, like bicycle? Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. We will have also bike racks at that location, and we will also have chargers for electric vehicles as well.
So taking advantage of all the work at the Northside Center, got a copy of that?
Absolutely.
Great.
Any other questions or comments? This is exciting.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, ridership report.
Good morning. We'll talk about fixed route ridership first. I know you've got quite a few more items on your agenda, so I'll try to make this brief. In the month of October, the total ridership was 574,209 rides. That's about 53.5% below our originally budgeted amount. Local service made up the majority of those rides, just under 559,000. Express ridership was 15,361. And year-to-date ridership is approximately 6.3 million. That's about 41% below our original projection. I know Mr. Cole's not here today. Last month he inquired about CPS service. It's important to note that our original projections included CPS and assumed CPS would be back in service, 5 days a week, all students attending class. If that were the case, our ridership numbers would be about $250,000 higher per month, assuming all students were back in class. So KPIs for the month, our passengers per hour on local service was 9.9 or 10.8 below our target. Passengers per trip on Express was 3.2 or about 13 below our target. Just continuing that trend that our local service is kind of growing a little bit faster than our Express services. Our average weekday ridership was just under 22,000. Saturday average ridership 12,500, and Sunday ridership average about 8,000. In the month of October, there were 432 missed trips. Of these, 325 were due to no operator available. That's about 75% of those. Mechanical and traffic incidents were the next highest categories at 9.3% and 7.9%, respectively. And Metro operated 99.3% of all regularly scheduled trips in October. And finally, access. Ridership for the month of October was 8,518. That's about 58.5% below original projection. 7,900 of those trips took place on weekdays, just under 400 on Saturdays, and a little over 200 on Sundays. And year-to-date access ridership is 87,600. That's 55% or so below our original projection. And that is the briefing item. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Just a comment, the lack of drivers during October was due to what?
Gwen, we've still had some operators out on emergency sick leave, still out on leave related to pandemic concerns. Most of the missed trip activity, we can dial down to a handful of days, a half a dozen days or so. We did have some struggles. We had some struggles with attendance and pullout. The headcount itself remains high. It's more of the operators still out as cases rise, as contact tracing continues. They're impacting on certain days last month our ability to get service out.
Thank you.
You said what was the phrase you used for? It was like a late notice kind of thing, or
not so much late notice. We have had some call-off days. We've had some struggling Fridays and Mondays in the month of October. We do still have a high number of employees separate from that, just a regular challenge due to folks being out on emergency sick leave, COVID-related leaves, child care-related leaves with school still in session. So that has continued with some some tough Mondays and Fridays along the way through the month, a handful of days that we can point to driving the bulk of the missed trip activity.
Yeah, I mean, we're following the trend of the community. I mean, that's what's happening with us.
The more people,
Okay, thank you.
Mondays and Fridays, right?
Yeah, yeah. Mondays and Fridays. All right, any other questions or comments? If not, we'll move on. Appointment to the OKI board. This is a tough one for us, and so we really need to be in our heads and really think about the response. So, Donna, would you take this one on?
I sure will, Gwen. Thank you. As you're all aware, SORTA is a member of the OKI Regional Council of Governments, so we have a seat on that board. OKI requires that our board appoint a representative as well as an alternative, and we then submit that to OKI, and they approve that at their January meeting. Mr. Haley has been in the past our representative with Mr. Shamoot as his alternative, and staff is recommending that you again appoint the two of them to handle these duties. Any questions?
Yeah, I understand that. Are you sure these guys are qualified? I don't know.
I don't know. I said that we have to really think about this before we vote.
They may not be qualified, but they're the best we got.
Can we see the resumes, please? Because I'm just.
It's 10 years, yeah. All right.
I did take a poll of staff, and it was unanimous that these two should handle it. So you're aware.
Is this one of those things?
I really miss having you guys here in person.
Is this one of those polls where? Is this one of those polls where everybody stands in a line and they say take one step back, and you guys didn't get to do it?
Exactly.
Recount.
All right.
All right, I move the approval of the appointment of them to the OKI board.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, too, for your service on our behalf. We've done quite well with your participation, so thank you so much. All right, now that we keep going, we have the Everybody Rides Metro Board.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning again. Everybody Rides Metro is a foundation that was created by the SORTA board in 2006 to address low-income riders' needs in paying their fares. This was set up with a minimum number of board members of 3, a code of regulations, and it was successful for quite some time. In 2017, the ERM board decided, due to lack of funding, to maintain this as a nonprofit status. However, we could no longer continue to help support low-income riders. With the passage of the tax levy, the SORTA board committed to have $500,000 per year of the tax proceeds go to, again, helping low-income riders. So what we have been doing is meeting with various agencies to discuss proceeding with this, and the first step in doing that is to set up a board. SORTA board is the sole member of Everybody Rides Metro, and as such appoints the board and has full control over this foundation. So I have worked with these agencies. Staff has worked with them, rather. It is not just me. And we have 9 volunteers who would like to serve on the board. 7 volunteers who would like to serve on the board. 2 of them are SORTA board members. We always like to maintain that. And the other 5 are from local human service agencies. What we have done is staggered. staggered their terms similar to the way yours are so that the turnover does not happen all at once. And there's no rhyme nor reason as to what years I chose these terms to expire. I decided to give Craig and Kathy an easy out if they do not want to do this longer than a few months. So this is a motion for you to appoint the board members of ERM. These board members then report back to you probably on a quarterly basis to tell you how things are going and the funding and things like that. So that's what this motion is for. If you would, I'm sorry, Gwen, go ahead.
Agencies for this motion,
Please.
names that they represent.
Yes, I was just going to tell you that. Gina Marsh, I'm sure you are all familiar with, represents the Human Services Chamber. Aaron Bly represents the Cincinnati Association for the Blind. Angela King is from the Free Store Food Bank. Katie Frazier is Changing Gears. I'm sure the other ones you're aware of what they do. Changing Gears is an agency that concentrates on transportation for low-income riders. And Lisa Nichols is with the Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services. So what we've done here, hopefully, is to bring various views from different agencies that have needs for their customers for transportation. Any questions?
I think it's safe to say right now that these, particularly Gina and Aaron and Angela, were, quite involved in the concept of the transportation empowerment fund and very quite involved in the levy work as well.
Yes, absolutely. And all of these agencies we have been talking to and meeting with since the passage of the levy, discussing needs and how things will flow. And so I think this is a good start for a board.
I think and I'm sorry for checking in too soon. I think the agencies are well represented. I'm concerned about the lack of diversity of this committee, but there has to be, you have the right agencies. It just shares that there is a lack of diversity. But you have this, you understand? Okay, thank you.
Yes, I do.
And we're going to be under, we're going to be really viewed in light of the levy passing and who we're working with and who we're serving. And it just, we need to be really cognizant of that as we move forward. And I understand the composition, but again, it's up to staff to help guide this process. So you have my comment, but you also have this before you. Is there a motion to approve this team of people to serve on the board of Everybody Rides?
Motion to approve?
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a second. Any questions? If none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And, all right, thank you. And opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, Patrick.
Good morning. I'm here to seek the approval of a resolution offering the CEO or CFO to execute a contract with Luminator Technology not to exceed $1.342 million. There's $1,342,360. This is a big part of the OTP2, or Ohio Transportation Partnership Grant, that we went and solicited and won. Were awarded. It will fund the implementation on routers on all of the rest of our fleet, which is 193 buses, as well as the digital video recorders onto the rest of our fleet to support digital uploads. So the digital video recorders will allow for staff from customer service, security, and risk to remotely access videos and pull videos off of our buses without traveling to the garages and pulling hard drives and things like that. The routers will be an integral part of that, as well as provide Wi-Fi access to the rest of our fleet. So we have Wi-Fi on 100% of our fleet. In addition, are key to supporting the new Masabi validators for the mobile application validation that we'll be deploying early next year. Are there any questions?
Any questions about this particular bid? Any comment? If none, I need a motion to approve this action of the modernization of the fleet communication.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. There's a second? Second. Moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Who's up next?
Yes, good morning.
Lauren?
So this action item is seeking the approval of our HVAC preventative maintenance and repair contract, which includes our Queensgate facility, our radio towers, Queensgate training facility, Bond Hill facility, access facility, and the Riverfront Transit Center. While it is a HVAC contract, it also includes air handlers, exhaust fans, and CO2 monitors at all the garages. This is a 5-year contract, not to exceed $1,074,881. That includes a 3-year base contract and 2 one-year options, along with contingency funds for repairs. This was an RFP that was solicited. 7 proposals were received. 19 DBEs were solicited with 3 proposals received. Peck, Hannaford, and Briggs was the company that won the proposal, and they will be subcontracting with an SBE company called Air Filters Direct for all of our air filter replacements during the preventative maintenance repairs. Is there any questions?
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve this bid? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. No opposition, motion passes. Thank you.
Gwen,
Yep.
before we end the meeting, would you like to add any of these on the consent agenda? Or if you would like to add 6 through 9 to the consent?
Yes. Thank you. I had a note here. Thank you. Yes. Okay, anything else to add or to discuss? I want to thank you all for accommodating me today. I tried not to be like Brenton and make comments on everything.
Quick question.
I didn't know I served him well.
Ben, quick question.
Yes.
When is the December meeting? Because at the bottom we have November.
At the bottom we have December. See,
Tuesday is the board meeting.
Right.
So this is for December committee meeting.
What time is the board meeting next week?
It's at 10. I will send the invite out and the packet out today.
Okay. I still have, okay, great.
Craig, anything?
Well, great job, Glenn. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, and have a good rest of the day. And thank you, your team. If nothing more, motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Second.